Hello everyone and welcome to my Royal Family Today update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The king has the power to remove Andrew from the Order of the Garter, but experts believe he will not. For the second time this week, Prince Andrew was barred from joining the royal family and participating in the Order of the Garter procession. According to a royal analyst, King Charles has the authority to depose Prince Andrew from the Order of the Garter. Despite being a Knight of the Garter, the king's younger brother did not take part in the yearly procession at St. George Chapel in Windsor Castle earlier this week. The removal of Andrew from the order is within the gift of the king, according to Daily Mirror royal editor Russell Myers, but he feels there is no way he would do so. Mr. Myers told the Royal Beat that the honor is probably the only thing available for the disgraced prince, who was forced to resign as a senior royal due to his involvement with convicted child molester Jeffrey Epstein. "It's an interesting situation for the king," he commented. "How much does he value Andrew's public appearance? I suppose he just wants him to try to retire without causing him any trouble. He's just hoping Andrew fades into the background. Andrew still wishes to return to royal life, but I don't think that will happen." In response to the potential of his removal from the Garter, Mr. Myers stated, "There have been removals from the Garter. It's really entirely within the king's gift, and Charles is not going to do that to his brother." Following his disastrous interview with BBC Newsnight in which he discussed his acquaintance with Epstein, the prince was stripped of his military titles, royal patronages, and the use of the style of His Royal Highness in an official capacity. The show aired a few years after Virginia Giuffre accused him of sexually abusing her 3 times when she was 17 years old in 2001. Andrew rejected the charges frequently and fiercely before negotiating an out-of-court settlement with Ens Giuffre in February last year, and made no admission of guilt. However, Andrew's public standing has deteriorated since then. Because of his poor popularity and public image, he was barred from attending the Order of the Garter ceremony for the second year in a row. King Charles and the royal family take part in the yearly parade and service on the grounds of Windsor Castle to honor the Knights of the Garter. The awardees are chosen directly by the sovereign to honor persons who have held public office, made significant contributions to national life, or served the sovereign personally. In the 670 years since its inception, 40 people have been expelled from the Order of the Garter and welcome Harry and Meghan back if they return to the United Kingdom. Mr. Palmer's remarks come as a new YouGov poll shows Meghan's popularity at an all-time low. According to a royal expert, King Charles would welcome Prince Harry and Meghan back. Richard Palmer of the Daily Express Royal Roundup explored if the couple would be accepted back into the royal fold if they choose to return to the UK. "I'm sure the king would welcome them back," he told the show's host, Pandora Forsyth. "He's eager to mend the family gap, but it's obviously extremely raw and visible. While he's eager to mend that schism, he hasn't seen his son in the last 2 trips he's made to the UK." Mr. Palmer added that it would be intriguing to see if Harry and Meghan will be sighted at Royal Ascot. "An interesting what-if question. If he and Meghan were around, would they be invited to Royal Ascot?" he added. Mr. Palmer's remarks come as a new poll shows Meghan's popularity has reached an all-time low. According to a YouGov poll of 2,014 people, 68% of respondents had a negative impression of Meghan, while 21% had a positive opinion of the Duchess. According to the latest research, Meghan's popularity has dropped by 3 points since April, adding to the total negative view. The British people likewise dislikes Prince Harry, with 63% having a total negative opinion of him and only 28% having a positive opinion of him. King Charles, on the other hand, is more popular than his youngest son. According to the poll results, around 6 in 10 people like the king. His net favorability is currently at 32, an improvement from April when it was only 26. The news comes only days after Spotify stated that it would not renew its 3-year contract with Harry and Meghan's production firm, Archwell Audio. The two companies stated that they had mutually agreed to part ways and are proud of the series we created together. According to reports, the transaction with Spotify was worth $20 million, $15.6 million. Harry and Meghan were intended to develop and host programming that uplifts and entertains audiences around the world under the terms of the arrangement, which was signed in 2020. Meghan presented Archetypes, a 12-part audio series, as the first of these endeavors. The broadcast featured interviews with Serena Williams, Mariah Carey, Constance Wu, Paris Hilton, and Mindy Kaling, royal analysts. King Charles and Queen Camilla did not elicit as much enthusiasm from the crowds as Queen Elizabeth would when riding past at Royal Ascot. According to a royal observer, King Charles and Queen Camilla did not receive the same enthusiastic cheers as the late Queen Elizabeth received at Ascot. The couple took part in the racecourse's carriage parade, the first since the Queen's death in September of last year. Queen Elizabeth had a lifelong passion of horses and horse racing, having been given a Shetland pony named Peggy by her grandfather George V when she was 4 years old. The new monarch now has to fill his mother's shoes, a hard act to follow, at an event she enjoyed. However, Daily Express royal writer Richard Palmer noted on the Royal Roundup that Ascot did not have the same buzz as when the late Queen was in attendance. In so many ways, Elizabeth II is a hard act to follow, and racing, as everyone knows, was her real passion, he remarked live from Ascot Racecourse on Friday. I think it's safe to say that King Charles and Queen Camilla don't have the same obsession with the sport that she did, but they've got the bug. If I'm being honest, I suppose you have to qualify things. I've been coming since 2004 or 2005 or something like that. But there was this feeling at the beginning of the week that there wasn't quite the same buzz about it. When the royal carriages went down the straight mile, as they called it, and the crowd saw them, there were cheers, but not quite the same enthusiastic cheers as when the Queen was there. Pandora Forsyth, host of Royal Roundup, saw the people disinterest in their new king and queen when she attended Ascot on Wednesday. I was in Queen Anne's closure when they came around, she explained. When the Queen was living and I was there, everyone would come to a halt. However, it didn't appear to me that everyone was pausing their conversation. They were intrigued, but they did not stay for it. According to YouGov polls, the king's popularity has dropped in the 8 months since he ascended to the throne following the Queen's death in September. 6 in 10 people, or 62%, like the king, with his net favorability standing at +32, down from +48 when he took the throne. However, this is an improvement over April, when it was +26. Camilla trailed her 18-year-old husband. Her favorability dropped to +4, a 5-point drop from April. However, it is an increase over when YouGov began tracking her popularity in 2011, when it was -15. Despite this, Charles' major win transformed things, according to Mr. Palmer. He remembered such a buzz at Ascot that day, with the audience going absolutely wild as the King and Queen's horse, Desert Hero, won the King George V event. The King and Queen scored a win after 2 losses, a noteworthy achievement given that it was Charles' first appearance at Ascot as monarch. The victory clearly moved Charles and Camilla, with Charles appearing to cry in the royal box. According to Zara Tindall of ITV, the occasion was bittersweet for the King and Camilla. It's bittersweet to think how proud and excited the Queen would have been, Princess Anne's daughter stated. To have a winner and to keep Charles and Camilla's dream alive, and on top of that, what a race. The couple then made their way to the winner's enclosure to greet jockey Tom Marquand and thank trainer William Haggas. During the Queen's 70-year reign, she only had 24 Ascot winners. Her first victory came shortly after her coronation in 1953, just over a fortnight later. Charles is now mirroring his mother, according to Mr. Palmer, who added, to get in the first year of his reign effectively is pretty good going. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.